Welcome back, friend. This is just a laptop lick here. This, for anyone who knows this major 7 shape, C major 7 I'm on, the root being at the 5th string. So anywhere you put that, and if you got this little triangle shape here, I'll try and focus in on it later. You'll see this the diagram on screen. Then you know that wherever you put this finger, you got the root of that. So root C is C major 7, D major 7, F major 7, G major 7, B flat major 7, wherever you're going to put that finger. So what we're doing is we're realizing all that is a C chord with a B in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's the shape we're interested in. You got your root finger, your 5th here, which we're going to jettison in a minute. Your 2nd finger lands on that major 7, the B, and your pinky lands on the B string, fret 5, which is the note E. So that's your root, your 7, and your 3rd. These are called guide tones. The root is the root, and the 2 guide tones are the 3rd and 7th, or 7th and 3rd, whichever way they are arranged. We're interested in these 2 notes, the 3rd and the 7th, 7th and 3rd, whichever this is the order they are, 7th and 3rd. So when you see an A chord bar like this, that's what makes it major. You see the minor one, and that's what's going to happen in a minute. So you got these 2 notes. If you were going to play C minor 7, you'd have this bar, and you'd have this fingering of 3, 5, 3, 4, 5. It's the C and the G, the power chord, right? And then you've got the 7th, the same place we had it, but now it's flat, because it's B flat. And then the E that was E major, E natural, is now E flat. So the B that was B becomes B flat, and the E that was E becomes E flat. And all that happens is you get this thing you're probably familiar with. You know that guy. So really, when you're holding it this way, all you need to do is drag these 2 fingers backwards. You lose that 5th, but we don't really need it anyway. And then you don't need a bar either, so you can just kind of go, right? And that's what you want to practice, is being able to move your hand that way. You don't even need the 5th on this one. On C, I mean, you get rid of this finger. So now you got 3 fingers, so you got 2 shapes. That's the whole thing, 2 shapes. Now all you got to remember is that the 1 chord in the key of C is C. If you go up the alphabet, there's no sharps or flats. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C again, right? So if you go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, all you have to remember is that the 1 and the 4 and the 5 are major. The C is major, the F is major, and the G is major. So that's going to give you this outline shape here. C major, D minor, E minor. The 1, the 4, and the 5 is C, F, G. Oh, sorry. F, G. And the inside, the 2, 3, and 6 are minor. So you're going to have the 1 major, the D minor, the 2 minor, the 3 minor, E minor, the 4 major, the F. That looks like just like a regular, if it was an A type chord. The G, which would look the same, it's got the gap of 1 fret. The A minor, which is going to be the close together one. Everything sort of boils into long and down to long and short. Let me say that again. Everything normally boils down into 2 shapes of long and short when you're doing these sort of dyad things. So that's the short, the B is minor, that's the short, and then the C is long again, the major. So I'll do that again slowly. You got the long, short, short, long, long, short, short, long, if you're going by that pattern. But what it is C major, D minor, because you got root and 3rd, right? C major, the long one's major. Short together, D minor, like a D minor chord. So now I'll do the whole thing without interruption. Can't help it. C major, the D minor, the E minor, the F major, the G major, the A minor, the B minor, and the C major. When you put that 7th into it, you got C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, and here's the true orphan here. You got this one shape that you got to do like as if it were like an A7, like that, but here at G. Now you got 10, 10, 12. It's one fret away from being the same shape as the major 7, but you're flatting the 7. That's what's going to give you that F natural and a G7 chord. Then you got your A minor, your B minor, and back to your C major 7. Whoops. I stick to the fingers I use when I grab the chord in its conventional sense. Now, the way you can look at this is if you take a simple melody on your pinky, keeping your pinky on the B string, and do something that everyone's heard, like Ode to Joy. And then you put the chord in it. I gotta go down here. This is just, you can play A minor or C down. You just want the C on the bottom, the B1. Whoops, sorry. I like that flat 5 in that case right there, but you don't have to put it in. It's just the same shape. You could have gone anything you can think of, you know. I'll do the C here. So you're just taking that shape, cutting it down to the root, the third and the 7th, and going up the pattern of diatonic harmony. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But you're going C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G7, dominant 7. I can't sing A minor, B minor 7 without the flat 5 because you're not playing it to C. But the C is the root, so if you want to hear it resolve. And then you just want to think of tunes, nursery rhymes, whatever, happy birthday, you could figure. Let's see. There's one. So you're just looking at any little tunes you can think of that come to your head, and you're just trying to think, just practice. You can try and put all 4 notes in, and just remember that when you get to the B, it's this D chord shape. Move twice toward the ceiling, one set of strings that you're on, next set, put your pinky, and hey presto, you got the same shape, but now you're adding that flat 5. Then here, the next ones, you don't really bother with the 5. You could do the 5 again on the root power chord thing, on the F chord. You could have done that, just grab that on the G chord as well. A minor, the B minor flat 5, and back to there. Whoops. Sometimes it's nice even to put the flat 5 or some other thing in there just by ear if you like the sound of it. This acts a lot like the 7 chord. It's like a G, dominant G with an A in it, you know. But anyway, you just start with that major 7, look at the shapes, and do the diatonic harmony. Everything is 1, 4, 5, and 1, 4, 5, C, F, and G are major thirds, and the 2, the 3 and the 6, the ones in between, and the 7 are minor. You just say 1, 4, 5 is major, and the rest are minor. And don't worry about that 5. Just play the major shape and the minor shape. And then when you get to the major shape with the flat 7, you just got to remember on the G, G7. The 5 chord is always a dominant chord. And then you got the 6, the A minor, I should have said. I meant to say A minor. Then your B minor without the 5, don't worry about it. And then your C major 7. Just jump around random like that. That's where random's okay. Random noodling, jumping around those chords to see what you like, because you're still under the limitation of aiming for diatonic shell voicings, if you like, roots and guide tones, and the diatonic just means within the key. First time I heard it, I thought it meant 2 notes, 2-tone or something, diatone. But diatonic, it's simply put, the definition is anything within the key. These are all white keys on the piano. There's no sharps or flats when you're doing all this, because you're in the key of C. And all those notes are all the ones you were playing with. So just mess around with it, you know. I try to avoid too much theory, because I know some of you guys don't want to do any theory, but, you know, you can't avoid it eventually, you know, just like anything else. You know how certain things work, and you know you have to use certain words to label certain things to make anything work. You're talking about cars or model airplanes or horses or dogs or anything, you're going to have something that becomes a jargon to somebody else. So, you know, this is all you're doing. A major third, minor third. Major 7, flat 7 or minor 7. And you're playing with those 3 things, the root and the 7th and the 3rd, in whatever order you put them. Okay. I hope that makes some sense. And again, it came from a question, so keep asking questions. This really helps me to try to, you know, figure out what to do next. This is a little bit more advanced than the stuff we've been doing, which is just laying the foundation for playing. So go back and, if you need to, and look at some of that. And then as we go, you can always look at my blueprint theory on the school website, and it's on Playable Guitar as well, playableguitar.com. And we'll build up this theory, you know, painlessly. You don't have to be afraid of it. But it will help you to understand. You know, I don't have no doctorate in theory or anything. You know, there's billions of better players than me. I'm pretty good at showing people how to get through the things that are slowing them down or stopping them. Okay, enough about me. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.